All right, let's get back to this beast. We're set up here. And as you can see, we're 88 on the low side. It's 88 PSI, means shit, okay? Superheat. This is an expansion valve system. You don't go by superheat, but look at this superheat. It's 40 degrees of superheat. Coming back to the compressor. No bueno. 1 degree subcooling. And I believe we're gonna be falling in somewhere, since we're 310, we should be I think we should be 336. With the temperature it is, we should be, it's 96 degrees is 97 degrees now. 97 degrees, almost between here and here. Our high side pressure should be somewhere around 326 and 335. See how big 2 degrees can make a big difference? And we have our subcooling right there. So let's give a little squirty do. And let's see, I got it open there. Let's do a little squirt the animal. There we go. Remember that old commercial, the little animals that squirted? Old TV commercial, I think from the 1970s, if not the 60s. And we're just gonna, I know I'm really far off. Yeah, we need a pound or more. I only got 3 ounces in. And this is a low bottle. I don't have a full bottle for it. I might come up short. I might run out of refrigerant before we satisfy here. So we're waiting for hell to freeze over, and you're supposed to wait long periods of time, but this is like 90 feet of pipe run. See, it goes up and down, up and down. It's no longer, well, it might go back to 0.5 again. My little bit of 4.75 ounces that I just put in there. Yeah, it didn't do squat. We're super low. And someone's going, oh my God, liquid into the system. You're gonna explode the compressor and just burn it up. Oh my God. Well, this is an expansion valve system, but it has an accumulator. This is a heat pump. So my refrigerant goes in here. Let's follow the circuit path. My refrigerant goes in right here, and this pipe goes underneath. Can you see where that pipe goes? And it comes back up the backside. Then if you follow and trace with your hands, the pipe comes here, and my refrigerant is going in this circuit. And this magnetic valve, this is your 3-way valve, like on a car. A car does this with solenoids, and this is hot as hell too. It's coming back here, and then the middle pipe, it's coming in the middle pipe. That's where my liquid refrigerant is going. And my liquid refrigerant is going through an orifice, so it's not pure liquid, it's flashing. And then it's coming down here, and it's going into this accumulator. This accumulator is just like a car. It separates the liquid from the vapor. So the liquid is falling to the bottom, and the vapor is being pulled off the top right here through this one. And the vapor is returning and going and cooling off the electric motor windings and heat of compression. And I gotta stop touching that thing and burn myself. So let's put some more in there. We got 8.75 ounces in there, and we still haven't done squat to the subcooling. I'm just going to empty this thing. I think there's only 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds in it. And it's really confusing because the way they have these lines run, they're on dampeners. It has improper airflow. They're not marked. And I can't even get my my probe is not reading. This is multiple layers of metal, 100 feet that way, several walls. And yes, the field piece are good, but through multiple layers of metal and that far away, they're having issues today. Oh, and my probe is inside a metal. It's metal and metal. It's just a bad deal going on there. I'm too far away. On this other room that's right behind this wall, I was able, when I was working in this room the other day, I could get signal right through this one singular wall. But between here and the other side of the building, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hallway, 6 walls between the radio waves that have to come to my field piece to get to here, and it's just not doing it. Which it shouldn't. Okay, and it sounded like I was running out of gas. I'm in the vapor. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes for it to stabilize. So what we're waiting for, we're watching the superheat to come down, the subcooling to go up, which I won't talk too fast because it might go all the way back up to 40 again and go back down to 0.3. It takes a while. When you have 100 feet of line, it takes a while for the system to stabilize. But the one thing, this one is never, both these, they're in the same room. This one is turning on, it satisfies, turns off and on, off and on, off and on. This one is doing what's, actually, it's sharing in 2 rooms. This one is satisfying and it's going through its off and on. This one is never satisfying. And I got, I think, 76 degrees coming out of the air handler on this one here. It's coming out at 57 degrees, or was it 67? I can't remember. 57 degrees out of this air handler, and 76 degrees out of this air handler, the one that's never satisfying. Well, we almost done very little to the subcooling, but we did come down from 40 on the superheat. Okay, let's open her up, dump some more in. Some guys would just dump a shitload in there, but I'm kind of overly cautious. I know it takes me more time and I wait, but I like to be safe. Then, so I can hear my gas. It's going gas now. Nothing's happening. Almost nothing. Look at, we're barely going at 1/4 ounces at a time. That's it. This tank's empty. So that's all she wrote today. At least I'll get it to do something. And this temperature right here, let me see where we're sitting right here. So look where so I'm dumping the gas right here. So it's only vapor coming out because it's empty. So the vapor is traveling, going into the accumulator. I'm taking my temperature, it's back here several inches. So I'm taking my temperature from right here on the suction line. So right now, since it's so little in here and it's just vapor, not a liquid flash and building up pressure and maybe possibly backfeeding and adding coldness to this, it wouldn't be affecting my superheat right now too much. Well, a little bit because of the pressure. Let me kill it. I forgot about the pressure because there's still a little bit of pressure in here, so it'll up the pressure and mess up with my superheat readings. But you see we're steady down here at the superheat. We're no longer 40. So before it was 40, now we're down to 34. Still didn't do nothing to subcooling. And that's the end of that refrigerant tank. So I got to come back here, fill this one up, or get another tank, finish filling this up. We're down to 65 on the suction line coming back. Still not good enough. Get the last 3 or 4 ounces of vapor out of there. And we still got a lot of liquid there. I mean, a lot of vapor, but it's not like it was before. Before, the liquid was dead flat on the very bottom of the sight glass. At least now it actually has some buildup. So that's it for this. doing all we can do. 1 pound, 9 ounces. All right, now I got to get back up on the roof and get onto what I came here for. And what I came here for was those three-phase protectors. And I've been so busy, I haven't been able to get back. Every day I'm trying to come back to this job, but I have so much other work that I just haven't been able to get back to this one. I got them up and running. That was the important thing. Now, the unimportant thing, what's still kind of important, is getting the 3-phase monitor hooked up, their low ambient kit hooked up on 2 systems, on 2 units up there on the roof, and then dial in the airflow, dial in the refrigerant charge after the airflow is dialed in, and then add the freeze protection to these units, not these units, but the ones up on the roof. Add the freeze protection to those units, and then start dialing down the temperature, because they want a nighttime temperature down around, I think, 58 degrees or something like that. And so I have to put freeze protection on the evaporator coil to shut the system off just in case ice forms. And that'll be another video, and we're gonna dial that room down as cold as we can to just before we liquid slug the compressor. And unfortunately, the ones upstairs, I don't think they had, did they have accumulator? I gotta look at it. I don't think they had accumulators on them. I prefer to only do that with a system with accumulators, because an accumulator will protect the compressor up to a certain extent. If you don't have an accumulator and you're trying to dial down the temperature, you have a tendency to get too close to oops, and you get this thing called liquid going back to your compressor. And yeah, squirrels are a little tolerant, they could eat a little bit more, but it does damage them over a longer period of time, and then the compressor fails. All right, see you guys back. This has been 12 minutes. Holy shit. See you guys.